Do you have things in your life that you thought were good for you and then it later turns out they weren't so good for you? This meditation is all about discernment and learning the art of inner knowing. There's going to be 2 meditations in one, hopefully not too confusing to transition. And basically, we're going to learn how to know whether or not something is good for us ahead of time. And then the second part is having to choose between like a menu of different options. The sensations are all the same, and that's what we're doing here in this meditation is learning the sensations of harmony and then learning the sensations of discontent and how the physical body can tell you what is good for you or not. And we're going to get started with a candle. As you get into your position, you can do this standing up, lying down, even driving to work if you'd like. Just don't get too relaxed. And in this case, we're going to be starting in a grounded position. So feeling the energy around you, but in your physical body. Those of you who have your feet on the ground, start to notice how energy seems to travel in or out. And don't try to force which direction that is. There's kind of a connection between the ground and your body. And just be in your body and feel the energy flow. You can start to pick up on the meridians. Some people feel the energy moving up the spine. Some people feel it more in their head. Just notice the energy flows and spend time experiencing this energy. It is this energy flow, and if you're having problems still trying to locate these, there's a hint here is that energy follows your attention. So you can practice pushing energy or influencing energy to move to, say, a hand or a knee or a foot or your forehead. Wherever you would like the energy to go, the energy follows your attention. Now this is important because in the world of discernment, in the world of inner knowing, it's all about how the energy manifests or feels in your human body, in your physical form. We are all energy. Our form is energy, energy running through us. And that energy changes constantly as new stimulus affects us throughout the day. For many of us in the Western society, any sort of stimulus makes us tense up unconsciously, and we'll be here in a state of tension throughout the entire day. So it's always good to become present in this energy flow, because we are material and human and physical, but we are also energy. And we need to have a foot in the energy world as well. So we begin the discernment exercise with knowing whether or not something is good for us. Maybe it's something that has been with us for a long time, or it's something that we're thinking about including in our own life. And it would help to have this item in your hand, but it's not It's not required. You can even use this with, say, a piece of food. You can hold it in your hand, and ultimately you're focusing your attention in and around your stomach area, in between your stomach and heart. And you're looking for the level of harmony or the lightness that's in that area. Now, if something is not good for you or not in your best interest, the stomach area, the heart area will tend to tense up. In other words, the solar plexus will start to have non-resonant sensations. And if something is not good for you, it feels heavy, just slightly. It's a very subtle feeling. Next, and perhaps even if you have a clear sensation, we still want to apply this next filter, which is a little bit different. But I want you to think about your highest value in your life. Most people, it's just one word that describes what is most important to you. This has potentially nothing to do with the item that you're trying to decide on. This is something completely separate. What is your highest value? Some people it's love. Some people it's freedom. Some people it's service. Whatever your highest value is, I want it to pervade your entire body. Bask in this glow. Bask in this energy of your value. And now, in that feeling, in that energy, imagine bringing in this item of question. Is this item, and you can feel this body will respond, if it's in resonance, your value will actually be expanded. Your highest value will be increased, will be more powerful with this item if it's in your best interest. If it's not in your best interest, it will not be in resonance, and the energy will dissipate. The energy from your value will feel lower, will feel less powerful. Next, and finally, we're going to work on choosing. So it's like you have a menu of items and you have to choose which one is the best one. And let's just say for simplicity that it's just 2 items, but you can do this for as many items as you'd like. And basically, what we were doing is just imagining the outcome. So let's say we have option A and option B. What we're going to do is one by one look at each option and feel the response. We're going to actually embed ourselves in the imagination into option A. And then we're going to see how the body responds to that. And we're going to look exactly where we felt before, in the solar plexus area, around the stomach area, around the heart area, just below the heart. And is it tensed up and heavy? Then the answer is no. If it's light and harmonious, then the answer probably is yes. Then you wipe your slate clean, you wipe your imagination clean. And now bring in option B and embed yourself in that, in the outcome, in the activity, whatever it is, holding the option in your hand and assessing whether or not it's resonant or not resonant. Now, you can have 2 yes options, and you can have 2 no options. So it doesn't have to necessarily be an either or. If it's a situation where you have to decide between 2, and for some reason it is an either or, then you're going to be looking for the item that has the most resonance, so the lightest feel, even if it's just barely lighter and more harmonious. And you can try this at any time you want. This meditation will continue to be on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. You're going to get daily meditations that are specifically designed for the cosmic influences affecting that particular day. And I'm going to bring you out of the meditation so that we can get into today's co-mind report. It is July 31st, 2018. If you're listening to this at a later date, know that there's going to be another co-mind report more applicable to you at that date, but you can still get an idea for what's coming in these co-mind reports. We're going to start that now. I am so happy to have you here today. Today is a very magical day, July 31st, 2018. And there's a reason why we did this discernment. And let's go ahead and get into it. The numerology is the only kind of outlier today. Numerology says that it's the vibe of a workaholic, that just going to keep you busy and persisting. And that, my friends, is going to go directly against the astrology. This is really the first time we've seen that numerology doesn't kind of directly coincide. And as we get into the astrology, we do have a lot going on here. The big news is, as I get my cursor, Neptune and Moon holding hands here in Pisces. So lots of water, lots of feeling, lots of sensation. And Neptune is right at home here. It's in harmony. And more than likely, we're going to be feeling this, and it's going to feel like imagination, fantasy, newness, intuitiveness. If you're sensitive or psychic, this is a special day. Creativity, if we can go into maybe a clear mind and a relaxed state, we can be flooded with good imagination, only limited by tension today or resistance. We also have an opposition to Venus in Virgo, and this is where discernment is supposed to be. But if it's opposing it, if it's opposing the moon and this imagination over here, then we're kind of going to be lost in the imagination without discernment because it's opposed. But we do have a sextile over here to Pluto, which is retrograde in Capricorn. So kind of the Pluto is the death rebuilder. So we're kind of rebuilding the goals and objectives. And so kind of the the vision that you have for your future, or just maybe today, maybe your menial tasks, are kind of getting broken down. And again, kind of diverting back to the imagination fantasy. Let's see what the DreamBot says. And we're looking at the two groups, which are red arrows and blue arrows. First, the red arrows are pretty easy here. We've got tower, helicopter, airplane, and stood and engine. It's just upright. It's up in the air. It's out there. It's flying. The blue arrows are more about the imagination, rare, context, emerging, nowhere, and things. So it's supporting this Neptune-ish Pisces moon, and at the very bottom we can see the linguistics set number 1, which is the only linguistics set I have today. It's called it says disappeared, basically interface experienced. And what that means to me is that this fantasy world, this imagination that is the main collective influence today, is making us feel like it's the reality. And that's why discernment is so important. Always be keeping your highest value in mind as you move forward today. That is going to be your key. And then assessing whether or not this fantasy world is beneficial for you, and becoming aware. That's kind of the hardest part right there, is that most of our fantasy work, most of our imagination, most of our behaviors are all unconscious anyway. So just becoming more aware of that is going to be half the battle for discernment, and making sure you're not going off into an area that is not bad for you. Whoops, I did that again. I'm sorry. All right. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and comment. Give us some feedback on these. Welcome to come back to the discernment meditation as much as you'd like. And I'm just absolutely profoundly grateful that you're even here, because it shows that our growing network of supporters is real, and people are benefiting from it, and that can really be profound in letting me know that we're going in the right direction. So thank you, and we are the National Dream Center, healing the collective psyche, one mind at a time. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have